For this week's edition of Keeneland Connections, we're visiting with the Vice President of Sales here at Keeneland, Walt Robertson, about the many contenders for this year's Kentucky Derby who came through sales rings at Keeneland. 28 graded stakes on the Derby Trail, and the winners of 20 of those races came through the sales ring at Keeneland, including all 5 Grade 1s. That has to make you guys very proud.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, when you win 20 of 28 graded stakes on the Derby Trail, it's fantastic, but even more fantastic when you talk about 5 Grade 1s, as hard as it is to win a Grade 1, and we win 5 of them with 5 different horses.
Let's take a look at each one of those horses, and we'll take these in chronological order. The Florida Derby won by Take Charge Indy, a regally bred horse.
Well, Take Charge Indy, of course, huge pedigree by AP Indy, and out of Take Charge Lady, and what a race he ran that day. He'll be real interesting this week.
And off of that race, he comes into the Kentucky Derby, as do the other Grade 1 winners. Let's go to the Santa Anita Derby, and I'll Have Another. Creative Cause 1-2 there, and they are both Keeneland sales graduates.
I'll Have Another and Creative Cause, 2 real good horses. Creative Cause, of course, by Giants Causeway. I'll Have Another wins the race straight up, and should be real interesting.
And that same day in New York, the Wood Memorial, it was Gemologist staying undefeated, holding off Alpha to win the Wood, and he too came out of this sale for Windstar.
Oh, and Gemologist on a real roll should be and won the Wood, good fashion, and looks good.
You know, last year there were so many different winners, so many upsets on the Derby Trail, and you listen to the analysts talk about this year's field, and they're talking about it being one of the most quality-laden fields ever, and to think almost all of these horses came through here.
Oh, it did, and you know, they're gonna have 20 in the gate, and 12 of them are going to be ours, and like I said before, we've won all 5 Grade 1s. Also, the Toyota Bluegrass right here. Won by Dullahan, had a heck of a stretch drive against Hanson, last year's champion and Breeders' Cup winner, but caught him in the stretch, and that's another one that we're looking forward to. You
know, and he's one that is by even the score. And I remember talking to your colleague Tom Thornberry after the Bluegrass that they were just amazed at how good this horse looked. Didn't quite have the pedigree to be in Book 1, but got very close just on how good he looked.
Oh, he was good looking, and brought a nice price because of that, and it certainly paid off for the owners.
And we'll lastly go to the Arkansas Derby, and Bodemeister could well be the betting favorite for this year's Kentucky Derby, and he too out of the Keeneland sales ring.
I mean, he had an outstanding performance in the Arkansas Derby. I don't know how many lengths he won it by, but he won it by a bunch. It was him and the rest of the field. And
I think the biggest buyer speed figure of the entire Derby prep season, so that could lead him into that favorites role. All Squared Away, who won the Coolmore Lexington, came through here, and it's a great source of pride for everyone associated with Keeneland to see that kind of success for the horses that come through here.
Well, I mean, you just absolutely love it when your horses do well, and for us to have that many different horses for that many people to do this. I mean, we're sitting here with 12 of 20 that are in the gate, and we've probably had a few that have dropped off the Derby Trail that we'll see this summer that were equally good. So, you know, we're talking about 15, 20 really, really nice horses that came through this sale ring and have been great 3-year-olds.
Algorithms was one of those who, very promising horse who got injured and dropped off the Derby Trail. Let's talk about the Oaks briefly, a $1 million race for 3-year-old fillies, and there's going to be quite a strong Keeneland sales connection to that race.
We've got probably 8 possible starters, including Graham Hall, Mama Kimbo, and Believe You Can. All should be horses that they'll bet on and that have a shot. And we've got 5 others, so I think the field's full at 14, so we could very well have over half that field.
You know, back to a horse like Dullahan, I remember Kent DeSormo had the great quote after winning the Toyota Bluegrass about how what was the difference from Dullahan last year when he won the Dixiana Breeders' Futurity to now, and he said there was a lot more space between his ankles, talking about Kent's ankles, how much the horse had grown. And you guys that see these horses come through as yearlings or weanlings through the sales ring, I'm sure you enjoy just seeing how they develop and how these regally bred horses evolve into top-class racehorses.
Oh, they change every day, and then the maturity factor from last year to this is just incredible for certain horses. And it's nice to see it when it all works.
So what's it like on Derby Day for those of you associated with the Keeneland sales, and you've got all of these family members, if you will, out there competing?
That weekend we'll have a lot of horses to cheer for.